Hey guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Good afternoon. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. My name's Manny, and this is all about transporting, guys. So RV transporting. If you want to learn how to make more money, how to be more productive, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get started. We all know the biggest challenge we all have in the RV transporting industry. The biggest challenge I think that all of us have. If you pull from the factories, if you're pulling RVs from Indiana, Oregon, bringing them to their RV dealership, don't have to even say anything else. Most guys know this. The biggest challenge you have is being able to get backhauls. Second biggest challenge, being able to make more money, more per mile. You know as well as I do, you work for the RV transport company, they'll give you a list, but pretty much, guys, you don't have any power to negotiate your load and tell them, hey, I'll do it for $1.50 a mile, and they're showing it at $1.40. There's no way for you to tell them I want $2 a mile. They're just going to look at you and say, oh, I'm just call the next guy. That's the problem, guys. That's the challenge. So how do you solve this? Well, in a nutshell, there's going to be ways that you can make more per mile, get backhauls, and just overall, guys, make money like the truck drivers do, like hotshotters do, where you're not coming back empty, where you're actually making a decent wage coming up and down when you're moving a trailer. So what would you need to do? One of the first things I would do, if you haven't started already, if you're not already working for an RV transport company, this applies to the beginner, to the expert. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle, kind of where I'm at. Guys, the best place to make sure you want to be at is make sure you set yourself up for a place where you can get those opportunities. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is make sure, guys, when you go and sign up with a transport company, RV transport company, find one that you can have a good relationship with, in the sense that you can tell them, hey, can I use and go and get a haul from whatever to whatever? I found a load, it helps me with the back haul. Can you guys, let me run it? Because remember, guys, when you sign an agreement with an RV transport company, you're leased onto them. It's not that simple for you just to, say, okay, I'm going to go do a run on my own. And everything's tied into the lease company. You can't just walk away from them to go do a load on the side. You can, but you can get into a lot of trouble. So my point is, go with an RV transport company that you go up front to them and you tell them up front, say, hey, dude, I want to move a few RVs on the side. I got a little bit of a customer clientele. They asked me to move an RV here and there for them. So if I move RVs for you from the factory and I get myself a back haul or get somewhere to go where I can make a little extra money, can you guys let me do that? And find a company that does that, because that is what you need to do first. That would be my best advice, in the sense that you can talk to them, get an understanding or an agreement with them. Sometimes they may tell you yes outright and not charge you anything. Sometimes they may tell you they'll charge you a fee. I don't know. Those are the negotiations that you need to do. But I would at least bring that up before you sign up with them. And if you already signed up with a company and you talk to them and they just kind of look at you and say, forget it, start shopping around. Maybe start looking for another company. Ultimately, if you plan on or decide that you want to kind of follow the path that I'm kind of showing everybody, you're probably going to need a company that's going to be more flexible. So that would be the first thing I would do. So guys, part 2. How do you get more money per load? How do you get the loads? How can you get all that and not have to basically sit here and starve. Well, guys, I'll give you an example. The way you got to do it, guys, is you got to go through social media. You're going to have to use sources like Facebook, sources like Instagram, Twitter. Um, you've got to go through the whole gambit, and you got to just start looking for groups. You got to start looking for those specialized types of people that use these types of units. Okay, and that's what you want to do. And I'll give you an example of a group. You go on to Facebook, guys, and you go and type in welders. I guarantee you guys, you're going to come up with like 20 or 30 different groups of welders. All right. Now, almost all of these welders are mobile. Yes, there are some that work in a plant, that work in a facility, and they are there permanently. But guys, I'll give you an example. There's a lot of guys here in this Houston area, especially on the east side of Houston and where all the refineries are located. A lot of welders they come in, guys, when they're building the refineries, when they're refurbishing the refineries, when they've got to do work in the refineries, expansions, and whatever the case. They come in, guys, and they'll work for 5-6 months, a year, however long the job takes. They sit there, they park themselves next to the closest they can, usually at an RV park, and then they'll turn around and work there for that period of time. And meanwhile, when they're ready to go and they're moving on to the next job, guess what, guys? Sometimes they have a truck, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. There's a lot of reasons. I've heard them all. Some people don't have the luxury because they're pulling another trailer. They pull a little utility trailer with all their stuff. They live in these things, okay? So they can't afford to pull their unit. Some guys don't even have a truck. A lot of these guys have welding trucks. Some guys don't. It just depends on who you're out there looking at and talking to. But the fact of the matter is, guys, if you go onto one of those groups and you go and find them, put your name on there, join the group, and say, hey, I'm Manny's RV Transport. I provide services like that. So let me tell you guys, I'll give you another example. The guy, I haven't started to do it yet. I was going to. I had everything set. But I didn't start because I was approached by an older gentleman who works for the dealership, used to, quit, went on his own, decided that he wanted to see the road and move RVs. Per se, the man has a lot of experience in the RV industry as far as at the dealership, but probably his most experience he has pulling RVs is probably what he's been doing all this year. So I'm just giving you an example, guys. Guys never pulled for an RV transport company. That gentleman is basically coming out of the office setting. Started putting his name out there on the social media, and guess what? Lo and behold, the guy is busy enough to keep himself working, making a decent wage, charging $2 a mile, and charging a little bit extra for extra things he's got to do. So, and then even in some cases, he even, they'll tell him, hey, can you go pull a trailer from point A to point B, and he's over here living a couple hundred miles away, guys, and he'll even tell him, hey, will you give me a couple $100 for the fuel? My normal rate is this much, but I'm going to charge an extra $100 or $150 to pay for my fuel, and they'll say yeah. Guys, it's just a matter of asking. Charge extra for setting up a trailer. Guys, I charge $150 if you want me to level it, connect it, set up the slides. If you want me to do a walkthrough, I'm going to charge you more. I charged extra for the video that's going to be posting here in a little bit about a trailer I picked up that had a big problem with it. I picked it up, charged my flat, and then charged extra because of the extra work I had to do on that unit, and I got paid for it. So guys, it's possible to get these kinds of types of loads. And here's the biggest benefit, guys. You want to know the biggest benefit to this? You eliminate the middle guy. You get paid cash on delivery. You know, if you go and do a run for the RV companies, everybody knows they nickel and dime you to death. We got to charge you for moving the trailer from the factory yard to our yard, and oh, we charge you for putting the money into datacom, or you get charged when you pull the money out, or I mean, guys, you get nickel and dimed, and even though you're getting paid $1.30, $1.40 a mile, by the time it's all said and done, they pull out another, squeeze a little bit more blood out of you, and by the time you know it, you're making $1.30, $1.20 a mile, because you got to pay all these fees and got to pay this and that. So, guys, you can cut that all out. You get paid in cash. Everybody knows when you get paid cash, that's a little bit of an incentive there for you. So that guy right there, that, guys, is the gist. Now I'll get more into detail about some of this stuff. Ask your questions, give me your comments, and I'll go ahead and I'll look into them, and that way I can be more focused on the next video when we talk about some of these subjects. So that's really the important thing you need to keep in mind if you're looking at this and you want to ask questions. Please comment, let me know. And finally, guys, that's the last thing you got to do. Make sure you do a good job. These are not like the dealerships, respect. These are these people, this is usually their homes. There's a lot of cranky drivers I've seen out there, and for them it's fine. And you know what? They just want to hitch and drop. They don't want anything to do with it, and they're just, you know what kind of guys I'm talking about. You're gonna have to be a little bit personable. You've got to remember, this is someone's home, and it goes a long way, guys, especially for repeat business. Because at the end of the day, when you start doing this, if you go in this during this path, if you go into this plan I'm laying out for anybody that wants to do this, you've got to be respectful. You've got to remember, you work for yourself, but ultimately you're working for that person. You're taking care of something that means a lot to them. That's their home. And if you do those things and do what's right, it's the most important thing, guys. I had an incident the other day that I had to do what I thought was right, even though legally I probably could have just blown it off. But it was just morally and respectably, I did what I thought was right. And that customer ultimately called me back a couple of weeks. Wasn't even expecting the phone call, and she called me back and said, "Hey, I need my trailer moved again." And I did the right thing at that time, which helped out later on in the future, paid off dividends. So that's what you got to do. That's how you do it. It takes time. Not as long. If you're really aggressive and you really get into it, guys, I don't think it'll take you that long, but you've got to have a plan. It's just kind of like the way I've did this video. I've had a plan, know how to put it out there so that you guys can get the most for the least amount of time and not sit here and waste your time and babble on. So hope this helps. The third thing, guys, that is very important. I've said this before. This is not the first time I've said it in this video only. I've said it in other videos. You need to be able to go out there, guys, and hook up with an RV dealership. I'll tell you right now, it's helped me tremendously. I get loads. I had a quick run. I had a video I'm going to post up here in a little bit about a quick run I did, and they called me because I have a lot of the tools and the necessary equipment to go and handle this job, and it was not an easy job. It wasn't just a simple pickup, but I made good money out of it, and I was able to handle it. But the fact is, guys, they know they can rely on me. They know I'm there. I have a good rapport with them. Always take care of them, try to make them priority, and as a result, guys, they give me business. So that's also very important to get hooked up, especially during the RV show season. They start off in January, February, springtime. Then they got some more shows usually in the summertime and fall, depending on what part of the United States you're in. And that's also easy money, guys. It's just a way to make decent money, and you don't have to, if it's locally where you're at, you don't have to worry about expenses other than just fuel going back and forth, which is what happens usually with me. So hope this helps, and like I said, keep an eye out for my next videos. They'll be coming out. Gonna start off the year with a bang. All right, guys, take care. Y'all have a good one.